Yo, what is up, mates? Just Rick here, back with some more DFO charge, and hopefully you guys like that little intro right there. I was just showcasing who the next 4 characters are going to be in the DFO Crash series, and of course we're kind of going to be following in the footsteps of the Neo Awakened characters, or Third Awakening. You know, the first 4 videos in the Crash series we showcased tonight, they didn't have their Neo Awakenings, but the female fighters do. In fact, all of the other characters that I'm going to be showcasing in the DFO Crash series are going to be Neo Awakened characters, because they're the most recent, they're the most updated, and a lot of people are trying them out. But before we get any further into this video, guys, I want to talk about my pros and cons with the female striker. Alright, first things first, guys, she has an excellent cancel system in the muscle shift. Striker gets a boost of damage from it, making it pivotal to her gameplay. She has an excellent suite of skills designed specifically around it as well. She has some fodder skills and other skills which have long aftercast delays, which facilitate and force you to use it. Now, generally, the characters who excel at boss fights can stick onto them, get off their burst quickly, and can abuse iframe and or interrupt at whim. Female strikers ticks all of those boxes along the likes of powerhouses like Secret Agent and Vagabond. And lastly, guys, one thing that I'm going to have the chance of showing off to you guys is that she has one of the most abusive skills in the game, Lightning Dance. And trust me, I've said this for years now, but it's not necessarily because of the damage, and let's just say you're gonna have to see it to believe it. Now onto our cons, guys. Now first and foremost, and I'm definitely gonna rant about this in this video, but she has no 3 awakening passive. Of course she does have a damage passive, but in terms of the other utilities that the 3A passives generally give for other characters, she essentially doesn't have it. Secondly, guys, she has terrible AoE. Now, they tried helping us a little bit in this regard by giving her AoE on her kicks and Shoryuken having a small vacuum, but honestly it wasn't enough. She still suffers by burning more skills than most other characters would with their lack of AoE or grouping. If it wasn't for the talisman for 1-inch punch, she would be in a lot worse position. And lastly, guys, she is a little bit lag sensitive, mostly with the Lightning Dance. Trust me when I say nothing is more painful than missing Lightning Dance and then you just standing there being sad, doing no damage. Alrighty, guys, so we'll be talking a lot more about all of that stuff in the rest of this video, but guys, I do want to showcase where this character lies on my account. Okay, you guys can see I've already done videos on my Ecam Paladin. Those are like my main characters, but you guys can also see that I have female striker as well as female brawler in my top 5 on my whole account. So I do care about these characters a lot. I love these characters, one of my main characters, and because of that, you guys can see the gear definitely shows. You guys see avatars, creatures, talismans. We have definitely been going in, and in this video we're going to be showcasing a lot of higher end content that, again, we're not going to be able to showcase very much of on pretty much anybody else in the game. Now, guys, I'm talking about the female striker because first, because I would say she's one of my favorite female fighters. She's my favorite fighter in general to play. She is so awesome. She is so fluid, and that's something that is going to be repeated many times in these next 4 videos here about the fluidity of the female fighters, because that's something that they kind of share, they have in common, is that all of them have very fluid animations and they're very fast. You guys can see here, one thing that is kind of unique to the female fighter in general is that they have these X strings that can cover a lot of distance. For Striker, that's just her basic attack, but you'll see with the other fighters, they have attack modifications that can make them travel even further. So that's something that you're definitely going to see a lot of here. I'm not going to showcase my 3A because I'm just going to show how strong this character is. You don't even need the 3A, and I'm able to decimate these guys with no problem. Although, of course, oh nice, I got Mad Cyclone, which is a claw. Dang, I'm just proof is in the pudding, guys, when I talk about 2-2, how important that is. I mean, imagine if I didn't have a weapon already. That would be a usable weapon, level 100 cap, that I can use right away. So just throwing that out there, guys. 2-2 is no joke, and that was just some random day out of the many that we've had 2-2 available. But anyway, guys, we've got some new skills. Let me showcase this one right here. Oh shoot, probably not the best. It doesn't have infinite range, but it does automatically target people. It's basically like a second Lightning Dance, which you'll see I will use Lightning Dance a lot. My favorite skill probably in the whole game, Lightning Dance. What it does is it automatically targets people on the map and hits them with a huge skill. And with Talisman selection, it's even stronger than normal. So, and the cooldown is already back up with Talisman selection. So you guys can see right here, it's super abusive, really good. One of the best skills. I'm going to be showcasing some harder content than this, but you're going to see me abusing the iframe and everything. Destroyed. destroyed on Expert Dungeon with one skill. This character is so strong, and the 3 Awakening is also very strong. The active itself is very strong. Now, there's going to be a lot of things that I like about the 3A. Obviously, you guys can see the damage is crazy. I didn't get to show the lightning shift, but this skill is really awesome. And then the active itself is just incredibly strong. It's definitely an upgrade over what you had previously. Both the 1 and the 2A can't really match with the damage of this 3A. Although, if you look at the animation, it's just literally just combining 1 and 2A, so that's not very shocking. But, you know, one thing that I did criticize this, and I'm going to complain about this, I don't know, until the cows come home, okay? I'm going to complain about the fact that this character has no 3A passive, which, when we talk about the Neo Awakenings, because I'm going to be talking about them all, but when we talk about the Neo Awakenings, everybody got a new Neo passive, okay? And it's weird that I'm going to start off talking about the Neo characters, talking about the one character who doesn't seem to have a passive at all. Yes, she does get a 26% damage buff, so that is going to be across the board on everybody who has a Neo Awakening. They're going to get a passive that gives them extra damage. Although on top of that, what generally happens is they'll level up some low-level skill like low kick or something. You know, one of your low-level skills, and they'll make it or change the utility to make it viable here in 100 cap, which oftentimes, you know, low-level skills are not viable. Maybe they'll, you know, when I say viable, I don't necessarily mean damage. I just mean like it could be damage, it could be utility. You know, just improving some low-level skill or something about the character which is annoying right now to deal with, and it's going to improve it and make it something that obviously is a lot more manageable or a lot more useful. And other characters I'm going to talk about in this series, pretty much everybody else who has a Neo Awakening has passives that are very useful, and if not very useful, then at least kind of useful. In the case of Female Striker, this character right here, her passives are completely and utterly useless, so I don't even like mentioning it. One of the passives is, if I use the skill Bone Crusher, it gets a reset on my low kick. You probably didn't even see it right there, but low kick, it gets reset. The reason why that's stupid is because low kick, on top of doing some of the lowest damage like in the game, it also has one of the lowest cooldowns in the game. So the fact that you can reset one of the lowest skill cooldowns in the game to use it again to do no damage is ridiculous. Now you might argue, oh, well, you can use it for cancels. Trust me, this character has no shortage of cancelable moves she can use, you know. I'm spamming skills like crazy. Muse uppercut, you know, hammer kick, low kick. You have a million skills that have extremely low cooldowns that you can abuse for that purpose. So I'm not going to sit here and hear that, you know, you need more of those. You have plenty, so that doesn't help you at all. And then the other thing that she got, which sounds good, I would say it's like a step better than nothing, but she can now cancel any move out of her basic attack and count as a muscle shift cancel, which gives her extra damage, which I didn't even explain what the gimmick is with this character because I've been dominating so hard. But the main gimmick about this character, guys, as we jump into some easier content, the main gimmick about this character, guys, is her muscle shift, okay? And the muscle shift, what it does, essentially gives you a 25% damage buff or 20% damage buff for the next skill that you cancel after canceling an animation. So essentially what this skill, what this character is very similar to Elven Knight. She is a skill cancel character, okay? And so what that means is basically if you don't cancel a skill with another one beforehand, you will lose 20% damage. And that works for all of her skills on this character. I'm talking her awakenings, I'm talking everything, okay? You need to cancel with a fodder skill beforehand. And, you know, that's very easy when you get, you know, really used to it. You guys can see at the bottom left, we have 11 cancels of being able to cancel. So you guys can see right there, well, I killed the guy with my fodder skill, but essentially if you want to damage 20% damage increase, you have to cancel it with something beforehand. You can use low kick, you can use hammer kick, you can use Muse uppercut. There are so many skills you can use. You can use any skill basically, but you got to be careful like in those situations. I mean, I honestly don't need to cancel in this easy dungeon, but, you know, if you want to get your damage increase, you need to cancel with the skill beforehand. You guys can see it's pretty much instant, okay? So the muscle shift, it's really awesome because it allows you to cancel instantaneously. There is no, you know, delay or anything. I mean, you can be in the middle of a skill, boom, canceled. You know, that beat drive right there has a long animation. You know, you can cancel it. Same thing with that right there, this powerful crushing fist. It has a little bit of startup time. Boom, you can cancel it right there. Now, there are some skills like Shadowless Kick, you can't necessarily cancel that animation, but they're kind of designed, you know, for that purpose where you want to use them as a finisher. You can cancel any aftercast delay. You can cancel mid-animation. The canceling system on this character, honestly, is so well designed, you know. They have some skills that work as finishers, some skills that you definitely want to cancel the aftercast delay. Beat Drive is a good example, where that right there, you can't really move until she gets that punch off. Well, you can move it. You can just cancel with another skill at the end of it to remove the aftercast delay. Same thing with this right here. Cancel it. So, like I said at the very beginning, guys, this is all about how fluid these characters, female fighter in general, but especially the female striker, they are so fluid as characters. So, just want to throw that into your consideration when you guys play this character, because I know some of you guys are going to want to make some, because we do have the Force Awakens event going on right now. If you want to make a female striker, this is such a good character. You know, it's such an easy sell. I think you can just pick up this character and kind of see the benefits and why people like this character. Now, guys, I'm going to be doing some meme shit real quick, because I want to show this off, because I haven't really been able to show this off. By the way, we are in Harlem content. Trying to go over too many things right now. Harlem content, we just did Dawn and Crevice. That counts as 2 hell modes, so I did have a chance every time I killed that boss to get an epic. Unfortunately, I didn't get an epic, but what I did get was some aberrant crystallines. What I can do with those aberrant crystallines is craft epics via the Strawberry Nose Della NPC, but I'll need a legendary, and so I'm going to be farming some assault mode. Now, the cool thing about this, and when I said memes, you're going to be seeing some stuff that you can't even do anymore, guys. Check out this. Okay, this is one of my pastimes in MMOs, guys, is making some fun or meme builds, you know. And, you know, I say meme, but I mean actually usable, like completely abusable stuff. This is not a meme, okay? I'm farming this dungeon way faster than most strikers can do it, just because I've made this set specifically for this purpose. Okay, so I call this my speed set, especially when I'm doing really easy content. If you want to farm content really easily, you can make a set of gear and potentially make a particular build to farm that content easier, you know. And this is kind of what I'm doing with this character, is that I have a lightning dance setup. It's lightning dance and speed setup. Don't necessarily need much damage for it, but you do need a lot of specific gear. One of them is an epic that's a level 75 epic, the lightning speed epic, and you guys can see right there. This character is so cool. 15-second run, dude. I don't know how many of you guys can do that. I don't even think my Paladin, which I was praising her up for being one of the fastest character. Unfortunately, I don't have a mean build on her, but this character is so, like, this kind of stuff is so fun. I wanted to show this off because I don't really have other sets that are this abusive on other characters. This weapon and this speed is just out of this world. In fact, I could potentially make it faster. I just think it's overkill at that point. But yeah, it kills everything on the screen and everything dies. And if you run out of skills, well, you know, it doesn't matter because you can just do this and they're dead anyway. So boom. Not my best run there, but you guys can see just how quick this goes. Assault mode, why am I doing this? Like I said, we'll need the legendaries to be able to craft epics. So I do farm this pretty, I mean, obviously I have a gear set that can farm this really well, but you know, even if you don't, you know, this doesn't take more than a couple seconds every day to do, and then you can start crafting epics. Now, everybody's always going to say, because they always, so one criticism about crafting epics is that you do need gold cube fragments. So that's kind of the thing right now, is that getting gold cubes is not easy. I don't know why the hell they took away our best means of getting it really easily, but Operation Hope is something you're going to have to farm on the side if you want to get some gold cubes to craft epics. But basically what you do, guys, is you take your Emblem of Heroes, you go to Timothy here, and you buy yourself basically any armor, accessory, or sub-equipment legendary, which I'm already at the maximum weight, but imagine I bought that, okay, and then I can go over here at the Strawberry Nose Della, pick up a recipe that can give me, you know, the corresponding epic to whatever I just bought from Timothy, and then I can use, you know, 100 gold cube fragments, some superior hardener, and basically just 500 aberrant crystallines to guarantee myself an epic. That's how you craft epics. Disassemble it, get an epic soul. That's how you can get time guy stones. It's an extremely efficient grind, but you're gonna have to do it on many characters. You guys can see right here, Dawn and Crevice, I can only go 2 times a day. Assault mode 4 times a day. The boss, and this is something I've explained so many times now, the boss can have a chance of dropping the legendary directly, which you can use to craft epics, or if it's cursed, you can transfer it via the transcendence system. There's a lot of different reasons why assault mode is still relevant here in 100 cap despite it being level 95 content. So just throwing that out there, that is still super viable. Maybe you might want to make a character or a set of gear that is specifically catered to that for that reason, you know, because I really have a lot of fun doing that. Obviously it's a lot faster and a lot more powerful than just wearing my overpowered really strong gear. So anyway guys, to talk more about the striker, I'm going to do some content that I haven't yet shown off in the series, and that's going to be the P-War. Not only just the P-War, guys, it's going to be the P-War challenge mode. I don't know if it's the hardest content in the game, but it's the hardest solo content in the game. You guys can see right here, Pandemonium War. You have normal, hard mode. You guys probably know this if you've been farming talismans. You have guide mode if you are not strong enough to do either of these or you don't want to party up. You have guide mode available. It tells you what the rewards are. And then finally, guys, challenge mode. You guys can see here gives pretty much all the same rewards plus a chance of getting an epic, product of wisdom, or a legendary here. And I have seen a little bit higher drop chance on things like talismans and stuff like that. But the main reason I like doing it, guys, is by sheer virtue of there not being a lot of hard content to test your characters in. And so you guys can see I've been doing it quite a bit, got a lot of talismans, got a lot of runes, which is also something I should mention is that we are, I don't know when, but eventually we are going to be getting a new talisman system to get our third talisman slot, as well as our higher level talisman skills. So we are getting a talisman update to make us even stronger eventually. Just kind of keep that in mind that, you know, we have to prepare for that. And maybe you can preemptively farm your runes if you want to, because there's going to be a higher grade of runes. Right now the maximum is rares, but you can get all the way up to, if you want, unique. So that's kind of cool. Anyway, guys, you guys can see right here just how fluid this is. One thing that I'm going to talk about with the striker and the brawler, okay, is that they are very obviously offensive focused characters. They're going to be really sticking on top of bosses, and most of the characters I really like playing have that kind of same play style where they kind of have the ability to be able to just rush down and stick on top of an enemy. And in the case of Striker, she has it really good. She has a really good kit for that because, let me think here for a second. She has a really good kit for that, mostly because she has the ability to get some quick and abusive iframe. You guys will see right here, just decimating that boss right here. Our next boss, we're going to skip the swords real quick. She has the ability to kind of stick on top of enemies really easily with the quickness of how fast her animations are. She doesn't run a really big risk of getting canceled. You know, she can kind of give herself some iframe. That's kind of the main abusive thing, is that she can give herself iframe if she needs to. She has very quick animations, get out of there really quick. And she can play this kind of hit and run style if she wants with some iframes. So it's obviously very abusive. But the main thing I think that makes this playstyle viable is the crouch, awesome, is the ability to use Lightning Dance. I think Lightning Dance is your one saving grace, that get out of jail free card, because it gives so much iframe on cast. You can just kind of use it, and if it connects, then you get yourself guaranteed iframe. You actually get iframe even a few seconds after you hit with it. So not only does it do a lot of damage, but it's also used as a get out of jail free card often. So if you're playing really safe with your striker, you can always just hold on to your Lightning Dance to ensure that you have a means of getting out of there quickly. But even if you didn't have that, like I said, she's very fluid, she's very fast, and she can cancel moves that are unsafe with faster moves and then not have to worry about getting punished there either. So there's a lot of things you can do on this character. I'm gonna cancel here and cancel to my 3A and forget to use a potion again, like I usually do. Okay, didn't crush as hard as I usually do. You guys can see how much damage the Lightning Dance does though, man. Crazy damage. That's mostly due to the talisman selection, guys. My favorite epic in DFO is the talisman selection right now, because it makes skills that normally, you know, it makes skills that are already abusive because of the talisman system. It makes them even more abusive with lower cooldown and way higher damage. So in this case, my talisman skills are Lightning Dance and 1-inch Punch. Both of those skills are awesome. So here I'm going to try to stick on this boss, and you see he was going to hit me with an attack, and then all of a sudden I was just iframing right through it and had no issue with it. The same thing here. See, I'm hitting him, and he wasn't even on screen, and I was hitting him. And, you know, unfortunately, should have healed through that. I think I took my weapon off, though, by accident, but you saw nothing. There, right there, you can see how abusive that is, you know, using that, that iframe there. Gotta be careful not being too aggressive with this character, because if you like miss with the lightning dance, or if you use it preemptively and you don't have another skill available, then you are going to be setting yourself up. See right there, moving out of range, crouch under this. That right there is so sick. So that's something that I'm going to attribute to all fighters right there. It was perfectly timed, so got to give me credit on that one. But all fighters have the ability to crouch under attacks. You guys can see right there, obviously I crouched under a move that was almost guaranteed to kill me. Crouch, when you put the TP into it, is going to give you iframe. So although I didn't have lightning dance, I don't think, I did have crouch available, and I can crouch right under the skill, and dumped a bunch of TP into being able to use that skill. But it was definitely worth it because of obviously the effect that it gives. Cancel this. I don't know if I can kill here. Well, I'm definitely not going to kill here. Okay, try to hit with that. Honestly, I'm more scared of the first phase than this phase. Ow, he did a lot of damage, though. Just got to be careful not to use moves that can that you can get punished for using. Like, got to be... See, if you're patient with this guy, he's only going to cycle through certain attacks. So if you haven't seen one of, like, his scarier attacks yet, then just kind of wait for that. Use a tornado kick over this, because it jumps over that. Yeah, like that skill right there is usually, you know, that does a ton of damage to you, so it's best that you cancel it, or you look out for that if he hasn't cast it in a while. Oh man, that was weird interaction. He's jumping again. He's gonna go into his final attack here in a second. Okay. And with this character, because her cooldowns are so good, you know, that is one thing I mentioned earlier about the character. Because her cooldowns are so good, I'm often very liberal with my usage of my skills, you know. I'm okay with burning a few skills if it means, you know, because most likely it's going to be back anyway. Oh, shit. I keep using the skill that's not there. Okay. Most likely it's going to be back anyway. And I don't have any room for the runes, but... There was a very, very quick run of that, guys. Could have been a little bit better, and you guys can see right there, I did get a beat drive talisman. I got 3 unique talismans, one of which was for my class. So challenge mode is definitely worth it, but you got to be really strong to do this in any reasonable amount of time. I don't recommend it if you're still trying to farm talismans or something, unless you're really strong and don't have good talismans. But you know, guys, I gotta situate my inventory to pick this up. And again, the reason why we're still doing this, even despite having our talismans and, you know, having a ton of runes, is that the unique system is coming out for the runes. You know, we're getting a higher tier of runes, so it's good to stockpile as many rares as you can right now. On top of the fact that we're getting a new talisman slot and a new, you know, new talismans to worry about, so it's good to preemptively farm that and try to optimize this talismans a little bit better. But guys, I'm going to end off with some Fiend War guide mode. I've just kind of chosen this character as my Fiend War character. You know, I'm just only really doing it for the epic souls and shit. So I'm just picking my fastest characters to do this content. And Striker is really one of my faster characters to grind this type of stuff, so... Gosh, we're making short work of this, guys. But I just want to say, guys, that, you know, this character right now is super geared, and she probably plays differently than how I've shown off this character in the other versions, or the other series that I've made, both the Rush, Blitz, the Charge series. All of those series kind of showcase this character when she was like 2 steps behind my main characters. I'm finally happy I'm able to get this character to this level. But just keep in mind, guys, that, you know, most characters in the series that I'm going to be showcasing are not going to be this level of geared. So just because your striker isn't necessarily doing what I'm doing, it is possible if you get some gear. But keep in mind, you know, if I'm showcasing other characters, like my Nen is nowhere near as geared, it doesn't mean my Nen is a weaker character. It just means I'm not as geared on them and I can't showcase them in a greater light. But I do want to try to keep it generalized in terms of the content. I want to keep it just kind of talking about how the character plays, not necessarily how the gear or how much damage they do. That's kind of the main focus I've always given to you guys. is to play the characters that you enjoy, and the gear will come. Trust me, okay? This character has been on my account. I've loved her playstyle. I finally got around to gearing this character, and I love how she plays. And the damage comes later. You know, the damage has finally come in 100 cap. It's allowed me to gear multiple characters. The damage has finally come. I'm able to do all kinds of content, end game content, but it's only because I really like playing this character and I've stuck with her to the end. So that's my ending comment that I want to leave for you guys, is that, you know, the damage will come, despite me showing off characters that are not going to be nearly as geared. If you like any of the characters that I'm going to be showcasing in this series, or any characters in general that you feel interested in, you will do damage and your gear will carry you, but you gotta like the character first. And I love female striker. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. In the next video, I'm just going to tell you right now, we're going to be doing my next favorite F-Fighter female brawler. In fact, I would put them on the same level. I really love both of them. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you next. Later.